Melting my spoon.
Spice in the pan.
Woo! Eye-wateringly good.
Semi-bubble.
Oh, cheeky. Let's make an aubergine curry now. Does that look like an egg? No, it's quite clearly an aubergine. Let's make an aubergine curry now. Most of these recipes mean frying the aubergines because you've got to get them soft somehow, but that uses a ton of oil. Before you do anything else, microwave for 10 minutes. That's going to give them a head start. They'll get all steamy and soft and squidgy. Lovely stuff. So all you really need to make a nice curry is curry powder, tinned tomatoes or fresh tomatoes, creamed coconut, onions, chopped garlic, frozen ginger because it's easier to cut or grate. That's all you need to make a decent sauce. However, I'm going to show you how to do it the long way, which is a lot more tasty. It's a bit fiddly, but if you've got time, try it out, it's really good. Seeds. Whole coriander seeds, some whole fennel seeds, and some whole cumin seeds. We've got turmeric, cumin powder. Be careful. Woo! Nutmeg. Cinnamon, curry leaves, these are dried, black cardamoms, green cardamoms, whole cloves. Les job les oignons, huh? I don't know why I said that in French. Make some fire. Put quite a lot of oil in if you're going to be using curry leaves. That's quite a lot, isn't it? Get a handful of curry leaves, you can use fresh or dried. Aubergines have had 10 minutes. You can see they're starting to get a bit squashy. They're giving up some of their water. Not quite long enough. I'm going to give them about another 5 minutes. Oil's getting hot. Curry leaves are starting to go brown. That means all that flavour from the curry leaves is going into the oil. Herby. They've done their work. Throw them in the bin. Stick the heat back on. Fire. Stick your seeds in. Let them have a little sizzle around. Get your garlic in. Let that have a little sizzle. That's all it gets. Get your onions in straight away. It's going to cool the oil down a bit and stop the seeds and garlic from burning. Frozen ginger. Not ferociously, but you want a decent kind of sizzle going on. Smells a bit weird, but bear with it. Stick a lid on the pan, any lid will do. This is the wrong one. You should be able to hold your hand there, about a foot away from the flame, and it should just feel warm. That's how you know it's hot enough. Aubergines have now had 15 minutes in the microwave, and they're looking quite squidgy. In the pan! Let that do its thing for about another 5 minutes. Turmeric, medicinal. Ground cumin, it is extremely potent. You will ruin your curry if you go crazy. That much to begin with. You can always add more. Just turn it off, it's just so noisy. Ground coriander, on the other hand, is a lot milder, so wallop in at least 2 decent heaped spoons of that. Ground mace or nutmeg, about that much, or maybe a bit more. You can use garam masala, but I find it just makes everything taste the same, so I'm just going to use a bit of cinnamon. Lovely and soft. So give the veg a test. I'm just going to pick out a bit of onion. That's good. It's still a little bit firm. I've already got some lovely curryness going on there. It's looking good, it's tasting good, it's smelling good. Spice in the pan. Bit of a stir. Don't leave it in there too long by itself or it will burn. Follow it very closely with a mug of hot water. Tin of tomatoes, or if you're in America, a tin of tomatoes. No, sorry, a can of tomatoes. Turn the heat up a bit so it bubbles again. Another tin of tomatoes. Oh, cheeky. Instead of that water, you could have put stock in. Stock cubes. Squeeze. And then tear. Could just use some salt or some soy sauce or something salty. Is that a good mix? Turn the heat down a bit. Semi-bubble. Creamed coconut. Grate it in. Creamy. If it's looking really thick, a bit more water in. That'll do. Could do it being a bit sweeter. Honey. Tell you what else is really good. This stuff is awesome. Liquid aminos. Oh, it's just so flavoury. Flavoury, is that a word? It tastes a little bit like soy sauce, but it's got a whole different level of depth to it. Hasn't got any salt in it, which is great, but you get tons and tons of flavour, so check it out, it's good stuff. Don't bubble it too hard or all the flavour will go. I love this stuff. Just trying to put things in that give it flavour without just putting salt in, because it's boring. And I think we eat too much salt, really. That is done. Let's cook some rice. Look at that COVID haircut, what a nightmare. Some people get really stuck with rice and they end up with like wallpaper paste or something horrible in the pan, or it gets hard or it doesn't work. This is all you have to do, right? I've got 2 adults and 2 little children, so I'm going to do 3/4 of a mug of basmati rice in the pan. If you're in a hurry, do double that quantity of boiling water. 3/4 of a mug, 3/4 of a mug, and a little bit more for luck, just to allow for evaporation. If you're not in a hurry, use cold water and put it on a very low heat, and you can walk away and leave it for half an hour and it'll be absolutely fine. On, I said. So that's plain rice. If you want exciting rice, put some turmeric in. If you want kind of pilau rice, black cardamom pods in, some green cardamom pods, some star anise, and some cloves. They will float to the top of the rice. You can pick them out before you serve it. Spicy. Once the rice starts to bubble, turn it right down. If you can hold it like that, you know it's the right temperature. If you really love spicy food like me, you're probably looking at this recipe thinking, oh, that is so bland. Yeah, it is really bland, but I've got to cook it for my missus and my 2 kids, and they all hate chilli. So I'm going to make myself a little sprinkle, a little chilli sprinkle to go on my portion. Some chopped up lemon, chopped up garlic, lots and lots of chopped up chilli, and some coriander stalks. Get it in a frying pan, a little bit of oil. That's all. I'm so excited about this. Just on a low heat, just let it sort of sizzle a bit. Go still a tiny bit hard, at which point turn the gas or the heat off. Just leave the lid on. I haven't stirred it, I haven't touched it. I've only tested it. Just leave it alone, it'll be fine. Once the lemon's soft, put the coriander stalks in. Not very stalky, those. Could have done with being a lot stalkier, but never mind. I'm telling you, that is smelling seriously potent. It's eye-wateringly good. Turn the pan off, just leave it in there. It'll just finish cooking by itself.
Live.
That is the absolute chap.
Daddy cooks the best dinners in the whole wide world.
Oh,
He cooks me dinners